He conquered the world in 11 years, but in the final months, the world began plotting against him. Before Alexander reached Babylon for the last time, a secret conspiracy formed, one that historians still argue may have led straight to his death. After defeating the Malians in India and barely surviving the fatal arrow wound, Alexander knew something was changing, not in the world, but in the people around him. For the first time, his generals whispered behind closed tents. For the first time, his army marched not with glory, but with fear. The long journey out of India became one of the deadliest marches in ancient history. Thousands died of heat, starvation, and exhaustion, but something even more dangerous followed Alexander from the shadows. A quiet rebellion. His closest companions, Ptolemy, Crateros, Hephaestion's loyalists, and the old Macedonian elite, each had different dreams of the empire. But one thing united them. They feared Alexander was becoming a god, not a king. When he demanded that his army worship him with the Persian ritual of proskynesis, the Macedonian commanders snapped. Whispers started. Dangerous whispers. Years earlier, Alexander killed Clytus the Black with his own spear after a drunken argument. The Macedonian generals never forgot that night. Now, after India, after the desert, after thousands of dead soldiers, the memory returned like a ghost. What if the king kills again, some murmured. What if next time it is one of us? And with that fear, the idea of removing Alexander grew like a seed. At Ecbatana, tragedy shattered Alexander's last piece of humanity. Hephaestion, his closest friend, his brother in arms, suddenly fell sick and died. Alexander broke. He shaved his head. He shut down the palace. He executed the doctor. He ordered national mourning across the empire. The generals realized something terrifying. A broken Alexander was harder to control than a victorious one. While Alexander mourned, his generals met quietly. Not all of them conspired, but enough voices created a storm. The motives were many. Some feared Alexander would replace Macedonian officers with Persians. Some feared he would march them into Arabia. Some feared he wanted to be worshipped as a god. Some simply wanted power after his death. And a bold question rose. If Alexander cannot be stopped, should he be removed? History does not reveal the full list of conspirators, but many scholars believe the early roots of his final betrayal began right here. When Alexander recovered from his grief, he marched toward Babylon, the heart of his empire, but omens filled the road. A Babylonian priest warned him not to enter. A flock of ravens crashed into each other above the gates and fell dead. A mysterious figure cried out that the king should avoid Babylon at all costs. Alexander smiled. He entered anyway. But someone else had already entered Babylon before him. Poison, or so the legends say. At Babylon, Alexander reunited his officers. But something was different. Some avoided eye contact. Some looked nervous. Some watched him with unreadable expressions. During a royal banquet, a cup was passed. Some ancient sources claim the poison was placed here by a general who feared Alexander more than death. Others say it was disease, but everyone agrees on one thing. From this night on, Alexander would never rise from his bed again. Alexander fell sick. His strength faded. His voice weakened. His vision blurred. But even on his deathbed, his generals still fought for power, for the throne, and for the empire he built. Before he died, he whispered words that would divide the world. To the strongest. The conspiracy, the poison, the final days, everything now rushed toward the greatest mystery of the ancient world. How did Alexander the Great truly die?